Hey there again. There you are. Welcome to the space that gives you inspiration on work, on life, and how to balance both worlds. I hope you have your glass of wine, a cup of coffee, or a cup of tea, a glass of juice, whatever tickles your fancy, a notebook and a pen, because things are gonna get serious. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know every time any one of my videos goes up. Now, we continue this conversation. Now, the way this channel works, things are very chronological, yeah? So if this is your first time watching, don't get confused. Trust me, the video before will explain what's happening today, and then the one before will explain the one that happened last week. So just dig in, okay? But I must warn you, it's very chronological, and you'll find that you're like, oh, she must have said something before that I missed. Don't worry, just get into the videos, you'll get the hang of it. So we talked about purpose. After we talked about purpose, we talked about personal branding. And when you build a brand, you either build a brand to create a career that you will follow, or you build a brand to build a business that you will follow. That's both the career and the business are in line with your purpose. Now, my purpose revolves around early childhood. And so now in this series, June series, I'm helping childcare business owners because I have a childcare business course where what I'm talking about is just free stuff. But you can, for a paid fee, you can get a self-paced course titled a childcare business course, which is way deeper than what I'm talking about in these videos. So hey, get on in there. Now, in the first week of June, we talked about your business not existing in a vacuum, okay? And we said that this business is affected by, different factors around that we categorized into something called a PESTEL: political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal. And then last week I shared with you what the Cradle has done in particular, or what we did when we're doing our 2018-2022 strategy. We're now writing our 2023, I'm hoping to 2030 strategy, so that we can start 5-year strategies and not the 2018, 2022, the 5-year has become, we really want to do that 2030, 2035, 2040, 2045, 2050, 2055, kind of like that. So we're trying to stretch the strategy to reach up till 2030. So I shared with you what we did when we were considering our PESTEL analysis. And I'd shared with you that the purpose or the goal of a PESTEL analysis is to help you, is one of the first steps in writing your business strategy. So I shared that with you. But I'm sharing all of this as steps towards starting your childcare business, or starting any business for that matter. So that PESTEL is one of the things you need to consider before you even start. Now, another thing that you need to consider is to do your research. And I want to talk about what kind of research is important for you, because I've gone through it. I'm going through it even right now because my business just only restarted. And so you have a better chance of doing better than anybody else because you're getting this information even before you start. So what do I mean when I say do the research? There's 3 kinds of research I want you to think about. And no, it's not the ones that you were taught in school. Like I shared, it's my personal experience. So the first kind of research, I call it sector research. Sector research is where and I don't mean competition when I say sector research. I mean research on your entire sector. Like when I'm researching on early childhood, I'm not only researching on children under the age of 3. I'm researching newborn. I'm researching 1 to 3. I'm researching 3 to 5. I'm researching 5 to 8. I even go up till adolescents. Why? That sector affects my sector. You know what I mean? So you need to do sector research or sectorial research. Well, that sounds better. You need to do sectorial research. And where can you do this sectorial research? The first place is the ministry, the government ministry that is pertained with your business. Okay? So for us in childcare, that would be the Ministry of Education, stroke the Ministry of Gender, because it should be in Ministry of Gender, but somehow it's under Ministry of Education. So there's some kind of fight in there. Did you know? No, you didn't? Or yes, you did? Let me know in the comment section. So we're ideally into, those of us in early childhood, 3 and under, we're actually under 2 ministries, the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Gender. Now, the reasons for that is quite vast, but you need to enter the ministries, into these ministries, find out who the PSS are, become friends. And this has nothing to do with trying to bribe them. No, it's so that you might know what's happening in the market, what's happening in your sector, right? Get to know who they are. Find a way to support them. Find out what government is trying to do, what government is not trying to do. Because when you find out this information, it gives you you think at a whole different level. Because especially, I want to talk to people who are in early childhood right now. I bet you, whoever of you is in the early childhood sector, you didn't come here to make money. That's not how we are in the early childhood sector. This is 8 years and under. That's not who we are. We are about impact. And usually, those of us who are in this sector, we're about impact, not of the children alone, but that when we impact the children, we shall impact the community, we shall impact the country, we shall impact Africa, we shall impact the world. That's how we are. That's how we are. That's how teachers are. They're not about the money. They're about the impact. So I know that for all of us who are in this sector, in early childhood, impact is important for us. Now, how will you impact anybody if you don't even know what the government is doing in your own country? So enter the ministries that are pertained with your business. Also, what are the associations around your sector? Like now in the early childhood sector, there's the Early Years Foundation. Why aren't you in the Early Years Foundation? How is it that you are trying to open a business in early childhood and you don't even know that I am the president of the Early Years Foundation? How are you doing this? No, kidding. Jokes aside though, you should be in an association, a group of people in your sector. Like I said last week, that early childhood hasn't reached a place where we can compete. We're not yet there. Children are so many in this country. Children are still going to be many in this country. Children are, we are the youngest population in the world. We have not exhausted even 20% of Uganda's early childhood in this country. So there is no need to compete. Come, let's sit together. Let us change our industry together. Okay, so enter associations. There's, I think, one on private schools. There's another one on nursery school teachers. Just enter those associations. Find out what's happening in the sector. Be a part. Be active. Be a change agent inside those associations. Then you also want to know what's happening in NGOs and CSOs, because you see, those NGOs and CSOs fund a lot of government activities, government projects on your sector. That means usually the person who gives you money is the one who tells you what to do with it. So a lot of the things that our government is doing is either what government wants to do or what the funder wants to do. So how are you starting a business yet you don't know what the funders who are nearby you want? One of the things that I talk about in the childcare business course is how to finance your dream, okay? To finance the building of your childcare business. One of the things that I talk about is funding from organizations such as, for example, World Bank, UNICEF, Child Fund, Save the Children, okay? Getting funding from them. Now, how will you get funding from them if you don't even know what they are up to? What they want and what they fund, okay? One day we'll talk about, we'll get deep into that stuff. Let me know if you are interested. Let me know in the comment section. So what are those CSOs? What are those international organizations in your sector doing? And how are you involved with them? Go take them out to lunch, find out what are they doing, what are they interested in, what are the projects they're working on, so that you know where you fit in when one day you're writing your own business services. Those who are in the childcare business course will get a bit deeper on that one. Better sign up. Now, that's a fast research. The second research is the experiential research. Okay? When I say experiential research, I mean go and experience the kind of business you want to create in real life. Stop hearsay, stop stories. Don't start a childcare business if you have not experienced what a childcare business is. Because experience is far different from theory. I kid you not. This is one of the mistakes I made myself, and I'm telling you, you need experiential research. You need to experience. You need to be within a business where you experience, not where you experience that business before you ever start it. Okay? Now, I get many calls from people. Hi, I would like to pick your brain. Would like to find out. I want to start. I want all those questions. All of them, you don't need to ask them to me to tell you if you were working in the Cradle, if you were a volunteer in the Cradle, because you would see. You don't have to ask. You know, you don't have to take me to dinner, spend money. No, you come, be there. And when you come, one of the things that I've always told people is be honest with a business owner. Say, I have expertise in finance, but I have a dream of starting up my own childcare center. I have a dream of starting my own nursery school. And I would like to come and give of my expertise and give of my time, either as a volunteer or as a paid worker for a period of 1 year, for a period of 2 years, so that you can experience a business. And please, because I think the world says it's karma, the Bible says give and it will come back to you. When you come into the business, give 100%. Because if you don't, someone else will not give you 100%. So when you come into the business, you've told the business owner, you're honest, you want to start and you want to experience this business firsthand. When you come in, make the business person's life, the business owner's life better. Don't have to be the troubled one. Don't be the one who's had to work with. You'll do those ones when you're in your business. But now that you're in this person's business, you're sowing a seed. And when you sow that seed, a seed of a good worker, you will also get good workers. So come into that business, give your best, give ideas, give suggestions. Do you know there are certain ideas that you're thinking of doing in your business, which if you told a certain business owner, they will tell you why it wouldn't work? Now you're going to go and start it in your business and it won't work, and yet here they can tell you, or they can say, yes, let's try it out, and guess what? It works. So you even have a place to test all your ideas at no cost. Imagine, at no cost. If you came and told me, Manuela, I think we can do this idea, absolutely no cost, right? So that's the other thing, that experiential research. The third research you learned in school, and I'm not going to dig deep into it, that's market research, okay? Time for you to enter the market. Find out from your target audience or your perceived target audience and ask, my God, what kind of business would you like? What services would you want us to give you? Okay, ask deep questions. Okay, and you must be remembering your market research from school, right? I hope. There's primary research and there's secondary research. Now, most of us are really good at secondary research. Remember, it's in secondary research, you read reports, actually, most of you read articles. That's like one of the #1 sources of secondary research. But I would like to implore you to go a little deeper, okay? Google, what's that feature in Google? Google Scholar. Google has a feature called Google Scholar, okay? Even if you go into Google and Google Scholar, go into Google and Google Scholar. Tongue twister. Get serious. So go into Google Scholar and then type whatever it is you want to research on. there will be a list of scholarly material, right? Is that the word? Scholarly material. This is theses done by people that have studied, they're doing their masters, they're doing their PhDs, then that's the research, because then they've done research, they've done primary research. You're sure they've done primary research and they've come up with certain conclusions. Certain other places to get secondary information is reports and publications and journals. That one I would advise that you get either from the ministry that is pertained to your industry or to your sector. Get from these non-governmental parastatals. Their reports and journals have been funded by people who are doing funding for research, and so they put in a lot. Don't just do these articles by journalists only. No, you have to do more. World Bank has, like, literally, World Bank, United Nations, they have a lot of reports, publications and journals. Please dig into them. Stop reading I don't know what, watching I don't know what. Time for you to sit down in IMF, yeah? Read all of their publications on your industry and find out what's going on in that area. Now, that's when you come in public, you say, I have done some secondary research. Okay? Otherwise, do your primary research. I remember one of the things that we did was when we sat down with 100 moms and we asked them what would they do with their children if they were at home. Okay? That one it's called focus groups. We sat down with them, we said, what would you do if you are with your child at home? And based on what they told us, we came up with a 4-part curriculum. People think that, wow, the Cradle is so wow. No, the people who actually gave us that content, mothers themselves in focus groups. So do things like surveys. And I mean, the internet is amazing. What has happened is you can actually do online surveys. Yeah, if you go onto my status and whatever, I send out surveys like all the time because I want to find out what's happening in my industry. Yeah. Now, online surveys, there's SurveyMonkey, there's MailChimp, there's Zoho surveys. There's so many surveys online. Just go and search. Write out your survey and send out to people so that they can be able to answer your surveys. Interviews, talk to people. And then my personal favorite as I close, after interviews, my personal favorite. Meanwhile, some of the people that I used to interview were parents. We used to do interviews for parents who are coming in. I don't know if anybody remembers. We used to do interviews. They would come in once a week and we would take all those reports and come up with very good analysis on our market. But my personal favorite primary market research, observation. I love it. I love observation. I love going and sitting near a school and watching parents and watching children and go near apartments and go to supermarkets. I like going and just sitting and watching. I see people, mothers, fathers, they're coming. I see a mother and a father, they're shopping diapers, but the children they have don't wear diapers. So I'm asking myself, where is that child? Is that child with a mother, with a grandmother, with a maid? I start to write down observation. I absolutely love observation. Now tell me which of these research you have ever done, which ones you've never done, and which ones you're planning on doing. Until next time, can't wait to see you. Bye-bye.